Evening and welcome to the Manteno Village Board meeting for Tuesday, January 22nd, 2019. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and if we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Boyce?
Here.
Martin?
Here.
Dole? Here. Crockett?
Here.
Geske?
Here.
Phillips?
We have a quorum. Tonight, as always, we begin with the approval of our minutes. We have the minutes from the regular board meeting from January 7th, 2019. The minutes are included in everyone's packet. Hopefully everyone has had the opportunity to review them. Are there any changes, additions, deletions, corrections? Seeing none, I would accept the motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented by the clerk.
I'll make that.
Motion by Boyce, second by Martin. Roll call.
Boyce?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Dole? Yes. Crockett?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Motion carries. Public participation. Has anyone signed up to address the board
No one tonight.
tonight? Village President's Report, just one or two items I have. On March 20th, in a couple months, the Village of Manteno will be hosting the Kankakee County Mayors Association dinner. The village board and staff are invited. It's going to be held at the Manteno American Legion, so please mark your calendars. 6 o'clock on March 20th. All the mayors from the area will be here, and there'll be a presentation and a dinner. The Village of Bradley hosted the one in January, and appreciated if the village board members made themselves available for that night to host the rest of the mayors for the area. The only other item I have is I've talked with Jim. We are going to turn the Christmas lights off. It's the 22nd of January now. They've been on for 8 weeks or so. I know they look nice, but it's time, and the season's greeting sign will be getting turned off, and that'll probably stay up for a while, but it will eventually be coming down. So later on this week, either tomorrow or as soon as time permits, the Christmas decorations will be getting turned off. That's all I have. The village administrator's report, Mr. LaRock.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tonight we want to congratulate and honor longtime village employee Janice Schulteis on her retirement. After 28 years, she's decided there's bigger and better things out there, so we wish her well. The last year and a half or so, her primary job has been to serve as a first line of defense to keep people from getting to my office, so I appreciate that. But in reality, she's everything you want in an employee. I mean, she's smart, self-motivated, just the kind of person that if something needs to be done, she gets it done. Has a wealth of information that certainly we're going to miss not having her around. Helped me out tremendously when I first started in code enforcement, because so much of that, you kind of need to know the backstory of why things are out there. So, Janice has done a tremendous job and done it for a long time. She was very good at diffusing angry residents, which, as we all know, is not always the easiest thing to do. And just did a tremendous job for the village, and we really appreciate it. We're certainly going to miss her. Big shoes to fill, to say the least. So we congratulate her and thank her. We know that the village is definitely a better place for her having been here for 28 years. So thank you, Janice, for all you've done.
And on behalf of the village board and myself, like I say, 28 years, it's been 14 under this group, and Janice served under previous mayors, Jerry Jarvis, Jerry Pierce, Bernie Christensen, and then 14 years under this administration. So we certainly appreciate all that she's done. I know it's been very challenging, and especially some days, some of the things that we put you through back when we first came in and made the decision to sell the water company. That was a big decision, and while it was a big decision for the people here to vote on, it was the staff with Janice, leading the charge to make sure that all the things got done, and that was not easy. And to try to get all those accounts switched over, and like I say, we depended heavily on her, and she made it happen. And then again, last year when we made the decision to sell the wastewater system, I know Janice had considered retiring a while back, and she told me that, you know, if we did make that decision, that she would stay to get us through, you know, that major challenge, which, again, hopefully that was not quite as difficult as the water system, but it was, you know, it was difficult, and it's been not quite a year now, and it's, obviously she feels that the major hurdles have been you know, overcome, and that she can leave the village in competent hands. And the nice thing to know is that she's not going to be very far away. I know Chris is going to have her on speed dial to ask questions, and she's graciously agreed to, you know, help whenever necessary, to let them know you know, where all the files are filed and the papers are when they can't find them. So that's the nice thing, is that, you know, while she's retiring, she's not leaving. She's committed that she's going to stay a Manteno resident, and that's good. So on behalf of the village board and the village staff, I'd like, if you would come up there, Janice, I'd happy to present you with a very small token of our appreciation.
Should I come in front?
Janice, why don't you climb back? Well, I'll let you open it on behalf of the village staff and the village board. I want to present this to you, that everybody said that they thought that, you know, that this would be a good gift for you, so hopefully it's something that you'll be able to use.
Oh, it's beautiful. "28 years of remarkable service, Village of Manteno." Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Let's get a photo of you guys. Perfect. Thanks.
And if we could I get the trustees to come on back and have a picture with Janice and Robin? Yeah, all the other elected officials would be here. She's the one that's carried us for the last 14 years. So.
Sure, the short people always get in front.
You get us?
Yep.
You need the wide angle?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you. And I know you've had a lot of things to say on other nights. If there's anything you'd like to say tonight,
Well, I would like to say that I'm speechless, but as you know, a microphone gets in front of me. I just have words all the time. I just want to thank everybody, the staff, the people that I've worked with over the years, and I have a great feeling about the staff that you have now to carry on with any activities that you need. I've dished out my duties to everyone, and they've graciously grabbed them, so that's great. Thank you to the trustees, mayor. It has been 14 years with this group, and it's been phenomenal. And also thank you to the residents. We have the greatest residents, and yeah, sometimes people are difficult, but they have issues and just need to work with them. So I've had a wonderful, wonderful career here. So thank you.
Thank you. Chris, it's all yours now.
I have nothing further tonight. Just a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Anything else? Committee reports, Public Works and Utilities, Mr. Boyce.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no items tonight, but I do have a committee meeting on February 26th at 7 a.m. at the Village Hall Conference Room. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Boyce. Properties and Recreation, Mr. Martin.
Old business, nothing. New business on the agenda. We have ordinance 18-20, which is an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a lease agreement between the Village of Manteno and the Manteno Youth Baseball Softball League. Chris, you want to expand a little bit?
Yeah, we've had some issues last summer, and obviously the baseball program changes, the leadership changes periodically. As new people come in, they kind of have their own idea of what they're allowed to do or what the village has allowed them to do in the past. And so we just felt it was necessary to start putting everything in writing. One of the issues is we're starting to get a lot of traveling teams that want to use the facilities. We want to make sure that the local rec league is the one who has priority. So we worked on an agreement with the leadership of the baseball league came up with a document that everybody can live with. Hopefully that will ease transitions as they get new leadership in there, and everybody will be on the same page moving forward, so.
We understand the soccer program wants to get,
Yeah, they heard we were doing this with the baseball program, and they asked if we could do the same thing with the soccer program, so we're working with them right now on an agreement as well. So,
perfect. And I have nothing else except for we have our next meeting. The next meeting's in March, which is coming on. And we have a lot of things going on with the parks this year. So the next meeting would be, our next official meeting will be March 20th here. So that's it.
Just one thing in the ordinance for the execution of the lease agreement, and I didn't read the whole thing, but I'm assuming that there's a document or something in there to keep the village have an accurate list of all the contacts with the addresses and the phone numbers and point of contacts, because there's a lot of times in the middle of the summer where, somebody, that we dealt with early, maybe, it's not, they might have resigned and we didn't know about it. I know in the past, sometimes we'd call somebody that we thought was in charge and then find out that they're no longer in charge. So make sure that when this contract is executed, that it's their responsibility to keep the village updated on who the officers are of the organization and the contact information and, the people that are the decision makers for that group. So if we have somebody else come into us and says, I'm a member of this organization, that we've got a document to show who the people are that we'll be dealing with. 'Cause, again, that changes periodically, but it's just not that hard to keep it updated so we know.
and that is in there that they're required to give us that information.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Public Safety and Health, Mrs. Dole.
Thank you, Mayor. I have one item on the agenda tonight, an ordinance authorizing the sale of personal property surplus municipal equipment, ordinance 18-22. Over time, the police department accumulates bicycles for various reasons. Chief Swinford became aware of a program to repair and donate these confiscated bicycles to the children in need. This ordinance allows the police department to donate the bikes to this program, which will also free up some much-needed storage space. I think there's approximately 62 bikes that they have categorized or whatever, so, and I think there's some razors too or whatever. So, anyway, that's, wanted to put that forth for approve. My next public safety meeting will be Wednesday, February 13th, 2019, 7 a.m. at the Village Hall Conference Room. Wanted to have a couple notes. Last Sunday, a local fire department had to rescue a person that had fallen through the ice. Just a reminder, no ice is ever considered 100% safe. It is generally recommended that ice must be at least 4 inches thick for an adult to walk on, and it doesn't freeze uniformly. It may be a foot thick in one spot and only inches in another. If you do see someone fall through, remember to call 911 first, then throw the victim a flotation device. Also, don't get too close to the person that fell through, or you may fall through also. Finally, as a reminder, the Village of Manteno does not allow anyone on ponds within the village for these safety reasons. Let's work together with Public Works in clearing the streets, and the weather is still favorable. Let's also adopt the fire hydrant in front of your house with the neighborhoods to help make it sure it's safe and clear at least 3 feet all the way around. Make sure there's a reflective indicator stick on it. If not, call the Manteno Fire District office at 815-468-7100 and report it. Can you see your address sign from the road on your mailbox? And is there one on your house that is readable from the road? Make sure you can do it so it doesn't delay the police, the fire, or EMS response. When was the last time you changed your furnace filter? Now is a good time to check your smoke and CO alarms along with your fire extinguisher. To the Manteno residents, stay safe and be safe. When seconds count, it's up to you to make the right choice. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Dole. Planning and Zoning, Mr. Crockett.
Thank you, Mayor. I have an item on the agenda this evening. It's ordinance 18-21, an ordinance amending Title 10 subdivisions, Chapter 9, Development and Floodplain Areas by replacing Chapter 9 in its entirety of the Municipal Code for the Village of Manteno. A floodplain map revision west of the village required us to adopt the new map. During this process, the Illinois Department of Natural Resources did an audit of the floodplain areas within the village limits and also reviewed our current ordinance. It was determined our ordinance needed to be replaced to be more current with the requirements. This chapter replacement brings us into better compliance with the state guidelines. Ryan or Jeff, did either one of you want to comment on that at all?
I think you nailed it on the head.
Okay. We have a planning and zoning committee meeting scheduled for Tuesday, February the 26th, 7 a.m. in the Village Hall Conference Room. And we have a planning commission meeting scheduled for February 12th, 6 p.m. here in the Village Boardroom. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Crockett. Finance, Mr. Geske.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a motion to authorize the village administrator to negotiate for the purchase of property located at 315 North Locust Street. We've talked about this at a couple of our committee meetings. The business there has recently closed down, and we're looking at purchasing the property across from the village.
Right, the idea behind that is that the village is going to purchase that property and just, demolish the structure that's there. And then we have a potential user for that, for that property. Once the village purchases it and, demolishes the building, then we'll have to go through the process of advertising for bids. Like I say, we do have a potential buyer that wants to build a facility and build a business there, but we'll have to go through, obviously, the legal process for advertising that piece of property available.
In addition, I have payment of bills in the amount of $89,284.30, which includes TIF bills from TIF number 1 of $12,181.80 and TIF 3 of $107. We have no bills authorized or paid between board cycle, and our next finance committee meeting is scheduled for February 13th at 7 a.m. That's all I have.
Mr. Geske, Mr. Phillips is not here tonight on the general government agenda. He has nothing for the agenda. So tonight on the consent agenda, the items that we'll be voting on are as follows. Under old business, nothing. Under new business is ordinance 1820, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a lease agreement between the Village of Manteno and the Manteno Youth Baseball Softball League. Number 2 is ordinance 1821, an ordinance amending Title 10 subdivisions, Chapter 9, development and floodplain areas by replacing Chapter 9 in its entirety of the municipal code for the Village of Manteno. Number 3, ordinance 1822, an ordinance authorizing the sale of personal property, surplus municipal equipment. Item number 4 is motion to authorize the village administrator to negotiate for the purchase of the property located at 315 North Locust. Under financial, motion to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $89,284.30, which includes TIF 1 bills of $12,81.80 and TIF 3 of $107. Are there any items on the consent agenda that need to be voted on individually? Seeing none, I would accept the motion to take a single roll call vote on the question of passage of the agenda items as read.
Make that motion.
Motion by Dole.
Second.
Second by Boyce. Roll call.
Dole,
Yes.
Boyce,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Crockett,
Yes.
Geske.
Motion carries. I accept the motion to approve by omnibus vote the ordinances, resolutions, motions, and orders contained in the consent agenda as read.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Crockett, second by Geske. Roll call.
Crockett,
Yes.
Geske, Boyce,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Dole.
Yes.
Motion carries. You have any closing comments tonight, Mr. Boyce?
Janice will be missed. That's all I got.
Mr. Martin?
Yes, will be absolutely missed. And be careful getting home, because it's getting nasty out.
Yeah, the roads are really bad.
Yeah.
Mrs. Dole?
It's been a pleasure working with you, so hope to see you at the grocery store or
Yes.
somewhere at the library or something. Thank you for everything you've done.
Mr. Crockett?
Just want to say congratulations.
Thanks.
Job well done.
Mr. Geske?
Same, congratulations.
Yeah, 28 years, I mean, congratulations, it's, a great career. I'm, tickled that you stayed with us for the last several years to get us through a lot of the projects. And it's great that you're pulling the, pin now, because you always know from being at the village that there's always another project around the corner, and if we, hooked you in for another couple months, we'd probably try to get you for another couple more years. So it's, glad that you're able to leave and are confident that the people that are in place are well-rounded and able to be able to do everything that that you taught them to do, and have, let's say, and I think they feel a lot more comfortable because they know that you're still in town and available to stop by anytime and hopefully help them out. So, is it Friday's your last day?
Yes.
Okay, so Friday's her last day. Doesn't mean that she might not be coming back for a few hours here or there to, fill in, whenever we have somebody on vacation, but, so it's gonna take maybe a couple months to wean everybody off of Janice being gone, but we certainly appreciate all the time and effort, and I don't think that the community realizes all the things that, that you've done for them over the course of the last 28 years, so thank you very much. If there's nothing else, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Martin, second by Crockett, roll call.
Martin?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you very much for coming and for watching.